What's going on there, agents? It's time to storm brain! So I've had these ideas floating around in this noggin of mine for a little while now, and I wanted to share them with you guys now that I feel like I've found that sweet spot that makes sense to me. So, agents of the world, what's going on, guys? My name is Pone. This is some Division gameplay. Enjoy. If you guys like this kind of stuff, subscribe. So, I want to talk about the obvious one. SMGs got mid-level, 20% of crit hit chance built into them. Marksmans have between, 140 and 170-ish headshot damage built into them as like a passive ability or bonus, if you will. And people wonder why these are the most used items. Those are substantial. 20-something% crit hit chance is huge. 170% headshot? That is substantial. That is just ridiculous. And everything else is just completely forgotten about. For some reason, Massive thought that, oh, hey, maybe if we give everybody 204s, they'll start experimenting more. And they did. We all tried out different things. And then we all came to the same realization that there's no point in using them. And we all went running right back into the arms of SMGs and marksman rifles because they have those built-in advantages. So until those are mirrored in the other types of weapons in the game, like LMGs, shotguns, and ARs, they will never be used mainstream. It's just not functional. So I have come together with some ideas that I want to just kind of ricochet off of you. Let me know if you have any good ideas yourself. Leave that down in the comment section. But here we go. Now, the solution for the assault rifles, I think, is an easy one. For starters, they should not be around the same damage of an SMG. SMGs generally have a higher rate of fire. They have the built-in crit hit chance. So you need to find some way to balance that. ARs are designed for close to medium range. Yes? So with this, I feel like they should have an extra 1,000, maybe 2,000 base damage just to separate them from that so that at least they can contest SMGs in close quarters, but still rarely defeat them if necessary, and just still be more beneficial at range. So this is an obvious starter, but we don't stop there. I feel like as SMGs, as their counterparts, have built-in crit hit chance, so then you build crit hit damage, headshot damage, and things like that, you need to do the opposite for ARs. Give them 20, 30, 40% in those ranges of crit hit damage, so then people can start building crit hit chance on their attachments and kind of find the same flow. That, to me, makes sense. So as the passive ability added to assault rifles, it should be crit hit damage. And it'd be in the window of 20 to 40%. Moving over to the next one, and oh yeah, guys, in case you did not know, true story, LMGs are actually in the Division. You may have never noticed, but it's easy to miss. These things are so untouched, it's crazy. I call them LOLMGs because they're just laughable. But seriously, LMGs have a large magazine capacity. They're meant to suppress the enemy. They're as much about fear and intimidation as they are about doing damage, and lots of it. So with this, fill that into the new ability. So what I offer is maybe a 5 to 10% chance on hit to force a debuff, if you will. Kind of like a mini Sentry's Call. We'll call it a suppression ability. And with this, if you've put in, 10, 15 shots into a person, maybe he has the suppression debuff on him. And it'll work as if they do 10% extra damage to that target if they're suppressed, and it lasts a good 5 seconds or something like that. It could be interesting. Obviously, it needs to be played with and juggled around a little bit, but I think that's a pretty solid idea. Because of that effect, it would be useful for PvE. Dealing with tanks, that extra 10% damage from all parties, that would be incredible. Not to mention in PvP, stacking a particular person or even dealing with tanks, that would be quite useful as well. Last up on the list, and my personal favorite in the game, are the shotguns. Anyone arguing that these things just do not belong in the meta or are not good have honestly never experimented with them, because they can contest SMGs. They are remarkable. They're incredible for PvE. Really fun because of the one is none talent. I can run through in one shot with an 870, 32 NPCs. Now, they do obviously have their flaws. Rate of fire is significant, range limitations, and more importantly, with the higher NPCs out there now, you gotta worry about getting close enough and getting melted on your own. So, with the combination of Savage Gloves or Vigorous Booster Shot, maybe even Two-Piece Final Measure, you need to get close to use these. So with that, my argument is their unique passive ability should be something along the lines of lifesteal. And this is incredible. I had an 870 with a really nice roll and self-preserved on it, and it allowed me to sustain fights against some of the tankier guys that were NPCs. I was able to completely absorb their damage and sustain for a long period of time because of that talent alone. So maybe, just maybe, they found a way to give you a percentage of your life on hit back. So between 5 and 10% of the percent that you do comes back to you. So in PvP, if you hit 40k on the shot, you get 4,000 health back or something. Not game breaking, but it allows you to stay in the fight longer. Seeing as how you got to get closer to get those shots to register to get the damage in the first place, you are vulnerable in that range. So because of that, there needs to be some sort of extended safety net. And that comes in the form of some way of lifesteal. But those are my ideas, guys. What do you think about them? Thumbs up, thumbs down, let me know in the comment section below if you have any ideas, any ways to tweak it, anything of your own to add into the mix. And let's see if we can get this out there and help them out, because having a whole bunch of weapons does not solve the issue that they each need their own respective ability. So thanks for watching, enjoy, subscribe if you're new here, and have a moist day.